which was really something that my soul had wished for. I know that writing is a tax, but even a line every now and then from your own self would mean something added to my life. Marion, as if my letters ever added anything to your life. You did always have such a way with words. I only wish that you had the words to add something to my life at this moment, but I feel that we are nearer each other than ever before, for I am able to reach into your feelings and understand your life so much better. Marion, you don't. At least not yet. Not yet.
Mother, I heard voices. You were talking.
No. You surprised me. You came up on me so quietly.
I'm sorry to have scared you. I didn't need to. I heard voices and you sounded distressed. I was worried.
I was reading letters, old letters, from my friend, from Marion.
You mean Auntie Polly?
Yes, Auntie Polly. She has written me many letters over the years and will write many more, I'm sure.
And the one you were reading?
It was a letter telling me how happy she was and how glad she was to hear from me. It was an ordinary letter, the kind that women write when they have a shared love for each other and an understanding that has stood the test of time and circumstance.
She used to write to me too, when I was young. I kept all the letters. Shall I fetch them and we can read them together and remember? I loved Auntie Polly and she was so kind to me. And I think she loved me too.
Yes, I would fetch them. I would like to hear them again. Happy days, childhood days, when the world lay at our feet full of hope and possibility. I did love Iona. From the first time I visited the house, to find her there with the servants, I had a most gracious welcome. I carried her, to my great fatigue, to pay our respects to the cow. She did not seem the least bit trist about the absence of her mother and father, whom she invokes most lustily, and showed no sign of dismay when they did not come to support her. Her smiles were abundant, interspersed with frowns, which I'm afraid she is taught to think of as amusing as the smiles. I envied you. To think you might not have taken her as your own. I know. At first I was reluctant to adopt a child, even if it was a child fathered by my husband. You put it very well in your novels. To adopt a child when your own children have been denied you is to try and take your lot in spite of Providence. Nancy was a most sensible character in my book. Charles and I were not a little annoyed at the parallels we saw in your story and our own affairs. The details mattered. The story demanded the details. Yes, perhaps I was thinking of you and Charles when I wrote, but only ever in a friendly way. I always thought the father was rather hateful. You can't have been thinking of Charles when you wrote him. You love Charles. I do love Charles, and no, I was not thinking of him, just of his peculiar circumstance.
You were talking of Silas Marner. I love that book. Oh, Mama, don't you think Ethel is the most divine heroine?
I am so glad you think so. She reminds me of you a little.
Oh, I hardly think so. Well, she was beautiful and good and well.
You are all those things to me. To both of us. Did you find your letters?
Only a few. You stopped writing to me as I got older. I missed your letters.
I am sorry. Life interrupted our correspondence. Still, what did I write?
When I was young, you wrote to send me your love and to ask me to tell you which stories Mamma had been teaching me.
And did you?
Well, of course. I told you about Perry and the Pearl and Puck and Oberon.
Shakespeare. So young, my dear Cara. You are never too young.
Oh, I loved them all.
I can see you did. You loved stories, didn't you?
Only the ones with a happy ending, though. When Jack would have Jill and Nought would go ill. Oh, I hated Romeo and Juliet. Why did she have to die in the end?
You are remembering your letters.
You wrote me a very funny letter once from your house in London.
Funny.
Poetical. Listen to this. I often think of you, little Nelly. You often come into my mind like the little birds that will gather round the wide-open carnations. I was never quite sure what you meant.
Just brought me joy to think of you, as you do to anyone who thinks of you.
That's so sweet. Isn't she sweet, Mamma?
Yes. There was always something rather touching about how you two got on. It was as if there was a secret that passed between you. It kept you amused for hours. You were always giggling or smiling or winking.
I object to the winking. I never winked.
There, you see, some things never change.
Oh, Mamma, how lucky I am to have you and Pa and Auntie Polly. I'm the luckiest girl in the world.
And how is Charles?
Much the same. His health suffers. His energy is undiminished. I love him still, despite...
You love him despite the fact he has fathered many more children than just Eleanor. Do you regret allowing him such freedom? Or do you in fact cherish your own that comes as part of the bargain?
I resent the implication in your remark. And if you are referring to the rumours of an affair with Edward Knoll, then you are quite mistaken. Though Edward is a dear friend.
Naturally. Charles wouldn't mind. Knowing Charles, he may even encourage it.
I have no thought for such things. Charles and extended family is of his concern, not mine.
You made them yours when you adopted Eleanor.
Only Eleanor. And she is mine. She is my daughter, and she knows of no other mother, none.
You never told her.
No. Her mother, Hannah, Steve, came to the door one day. Eleanor opened the door and greeted her and asked her to sit and wait. She shouted at me, "Mamma, there's a lady here who would like to speak to you." A lady, indeed. She paid her no heed. There was only room in this house for one mother, and that is me. She has been happy, as you can see.
Very happy. So often ill.
Oh, she has smiled through it all.
As children do. We have but two ways to choose when we suffer. To smile in anticipation of its ending, or to grumble and cry at life's unfairness in choosing me to suffer rather than my neighbour. She returns.
I think that when I'm older, I shall be a musician, or a writer, or perhaps I shall paint. I'm told I'm quite good at all of those.
Being quite good is not enough. Maybe fine for the drawing room, but if you want to make a living...
Take me, my dear. I am quite a good painter, I would say.
Very good. Your self-portrait is lovely, and the picture of me...
Oh, that's merely ordinary.
I hate to be thought of as ordinary.
Now, don't tease. The painting will never be judged on its merits, but on its subject. If it were to hang in a gallery, it would be because it's a picture of George Eliot, not a painting by Cara, Bray.
But it is so lovely, Mother.
My writings, they are all very nice, but I doubt they shall pass the test of time. Not mine, nor any writing of Charles.
You don't know that for sure. I suspect your book about animals will prove to be significant. Who says books should live forever? It should be enough that they are enjoyed here and now and touch the hearts of those who read them.
Well, I am satisfied. But I suspect that you, my dear friend, pursue immortality. And Charles thinks you might just achieve it.
Well, I should hate to be immortal. Not that I don't enjoy my life now, but I don't think I'd want to live forever. I think a time would come when I would long to rest, but not yet while anyhow.
So you have no place in your philosophy for heaven?
Oh no, I cannot say that, despite the views of my learned parents. If I am to be a free thinker, then I must admit to the possibility that there are more things in heaven and earth than are dreamed of in their philosophy. Would you agree, Auntie Polly? Or will you disagree with Mr. Shakespeare?
Heaven forbid. Now there is a writer who is immortal. He will be read, performed, and loved for generations. His is an infinite stage, and I envy it.
My, how deep we are of a sudden. We're not talking of lighter things.
Have you heard Hiawatha you ask me when Wadaha found these songs so wild and wayward, found these legends and traditions, I should answer, I should tell you, in the birds' nests of the forest, in the lodges of the beaver, in the hoof prints of the bison, in the eyrie of the eagle.
Lovely, my dear. I wish it's not quite to my taste.
It flows like music, it's so beautiful to speak. I think perhaps I shall be a poet. I'd like to write poems like Christina Rossetti about fairies and knights and romance and goblins. Laura started from her chair, threw her hands up in the air, clutched her hair. Lizzie, Lizzie, have you tasted, for my sake, the fruit forbidden? Must your light like mine be hidden? Your young life like mine be wasted, undone in my undoing, ruined in my ruin, thirsty, cankered, goblin-ridden. Isn't she thrilling?
That's one word for her. It has its charms, but it's not the stuff of real life.
Oh, stuff real life. It's too full of pain. Ask Mamma, she's terribly sad today reading your letters. Well, that's not for me.
How long have we known each other?
Ooh, a long time. Is it 20 years?
Nearly 25. Give or take a sabbatical.
Is that what you call it?
I was trying to be polite.
You didn't try very hard when I went to live with my George, a married man. Your words stung. You of all people. You whose household was so full of free thought and so lacking in condemnation, yet society's conventions fell from your lips like rain.
I hurt you, and I am sorry. It was just too much. Though I cannot deny it's all worked out rather well for you. I'm glad of it.
And I am glad we were reconciled. Friendship once broken is stronger still when mended.
Yes, it is, I think.
But, of course, you are sad.
Heartbroken.
I am sorry.
People have been so kind. I cannot bear to turn them away, but they come and they speak, and I wish they would sit and be still. The silence is so threatening. They fill it with platitudes and kindnesses that are of no kindness at all.
There is no such thing as consolation on this occasion. When we who take on the loss of another as our own, the anguish must be borne.
And if it can't?
It must be borne. Was it pulmonary tuberculosis?
Yes.
Did she suffer much?
It's a horrid way to die.
One can only wish that she had been given a few more years of joy. So cruel. So cruel. I cannot even imagine what...
No, you can't. But there's one thing we can all be sure of, is that we will all walk this road of grief. And the deeper the love, the greater the pain. My pain is very great. I see it.
And perhaps one day it will be mine when George... Perhaps it shall be me who... No. It shall be him. I will be left and he departed. What will you do?
I will go on. Charles will go on. He has other children, a compensation of sorts. Charles is particularly dear.
Write soon, my dearest friend. When you're able, when you are stronger.
There is no such thing as a consolation on this occasion, when we who have taken the lot of another as our own, as you did Nellie's. The anguish must be borne.
I'm sorry, Mamma, that you should suffer so.
My darling girl, it was you who suffered so.
Not half as much as you watched over me. Has it been nice to read Auntie Polly's letters today? To remember the conversations we had, and the times we argued and played at intellectuals. Those were the best of days.
It has been painful to remember.
But one day, Mamma, you'll remember my Hiawatha, and you'll smile and know that the pain has gone.
The pain will never go. I will just carry it less heavily.
That woman at the door, was she my real mother?
Your birth mother, never your real mother.
No, of course not. That was you. Only you. I hardly remember what she looked like. She must have been pretty for Father to have so many children by her.
I don't like to think of it like that.
No, of course not. You are beautiful, Mamma. I have heard Father say so many times.
And so will you,
And so I shall be forever.
in your heaven. I like to think that there is a heaven, and that you are safely at home there.
Don't let Father hear you speak so.
Well, he might feel the same deep in his heart. I wonder, when we experience loss, if we lose our doubts, just for a while.
What should we do now? Shall I help you tidy? Perhaps it would be better if you were in bed and sleeping. You look so tired.
If I were to sleep, will you be gone? Truly gone?
I am already gone, Mamma. Gone from your side, but not from your heart or your memory.
I wonder. Do the dead remember?
What do you think?
I would like to hope so.
So would I. For it would be terrible to think of you as being forgotten. Come now, Mamma. Time for bed. This can wait until another day. Tomorrow. Things will be better tomorrow.
Very well. Goodbye, my darling girl.
The anguish must be borne.